We have recently reported on how calls to the child abuse and neglect hotlines have actually gone down significantly since the stay-at-home order started. But it's a concern for social workers because it likely means that abuse simply is not being reported. KCTV5's Leslie Aguilar found out calls for another type of abuse have not slowed down, but the resources available for those victims are now hard to come by.
Right now, Rended Heart is getting the same volume of calls as usual. They help people escape situations of sexual abuse and exploitation, prostitution, and trafficking. The problem is they're having trouble finding housing for people in crisis.
We're just trying to figure out ways that we can continue to serve this population and at the same time keep everyone safe.
Denise Lester answers calls from desperate people 24/7.
It hasn't decreased in any measure the sexual abuse or the trafficking that we have seen in the past.
She says in the past 7 days, she's received at least 7 pleas for help. The number one thing trafficking victims need to escape their situation is a safe place to go.
We had a situation this week where there was an individual who literally needed to run from her traffickers. I paid for 2 nights of hotel room, and then we didn't have a place for her to go.
Like many nonprofits, money is tight right now. They can only pay for a hotel temporarily. Lester says many of the domestic violence shelters she'd normally go to for help can't right now due to the pandemic. They're reducing the number of new clients they'll take in.
Because every phone call I had made, no one was willing to take the individual in. And I couldn't fund more than a couple of nights at a hotel. But so that's happened. But I mean, it worked out in the end, but we know there's so many more people out here who are looking for housing, wanting to get out of a crisis situation. And there aren't very much options out here right now.
Lester says sexual assault nurse examiners are still working at metro hospitals, helping victims and calling Rended Heart on behalf of victims. But advocates are not allowed to meet potential clients in person due to COVID-19. She says we should all keep a watchful eye for anything that seems off in our communities.
We can't be silent. We literally have to be attentive to what's happening in our neighborhood with our neighbors, and any indication should be reported.
Lester says another concern is the increased viewing of pornography during the stay-at-home order, which leads to an increase in coercion for some of the people in those videos. If you know somebody who needs help, the National Human Trafficking Hotline is 1-888-373-7888. Reporting in Johnson County, Leslie Aguilar, KCTV5 News.